We have all of our insulation in the ceiling. HVAC is working, and we are now ready to put some walls up. And you can see here on the ground, I've got some walls already screwed into the floor, or base plates rather. And we are going to be putting in our closet area, which is right here. 32-inch door going in, 34-inch rough opening. It'll open up into another door here, closet area, which will allow us to call this a fourth bedroom. So as you can see here, I've got some studs going up into the ceiling where the drywall is going to attach to. We've got some angles here you can see here. The good thing about this area is it's 45 degrees on all the angles, so the cuts are going to be very easily. And typically what you would do is you'd put your frame on the ground and then tilt it up into making your wall, but I'm not doing that this time because of the weird angles and everything. I'm actually going to stick build these walls and just toe screw the bottom screws into the bottom plate. So hopefully on the next update you will see some framed out walls here. So until then, you can see here we have a back wall framed in. We've got double 2x4s all around the frame where the door is going to go. And then we've got stud over there at 16 inches on center. And then the remaining space on the left side of that. But you can see here I've got my closet laid out on the floor also. So this is going to be a door right here. And then this door that I just took off, which is actually a weathered door because it has a bottom sill that is sealed all the way around, which is the reason why it was there in the first place. That's going to go over here. And then it will swing open against the wall that I'm going to put there. So we are going to be hanging a door here in the next couple of hours. But the first thing I need to do is take the frame that is sitting there now, take it out and move it over there. So what I'm going to do is take the casing off both sides. And then there's probably shims in there to level it up. I got to saw through those or take them out. Along with it, whatever nails are there. So I'll probably just saw right through those with a Sawzall. And then we'll take that frame out and then put it over here. But before I do that also, I've got a piece of drywall in here. This is the one that I brought in from the hallway, or the right behind that wall when that comes out. And got to put the drywall up first because the casing that is on this new door here is thick enough so the edge here and the edge here match a 2x4 wall with 1/2-inch drywall on each side. So you got to get the drywall on first on both sides, and then I'll insulate it, and then we'll be able to hang this door over there. So that's what's coming next. I'll do another video here shortly, and we'll go from there. Thanks. All right, I've got the casing off of this door, and you can see that there's a gap around the entire door, which is normal. That's where you put your shims in to level up the door. But what I've noticed here, if you look really close here, this gap is very wide. It's about 1.25 inches, and it really shouldn't be that wide. It should only have maybe 1/4 inch to shim on each side. The door that I have is 32 inches, which means the rough opening is 34 inches. However, when I just measured from the edge that you can see right there, that's that stud, all the way over to this edge here, it's like 35.5, which is a very odd dimension. So if it was 36, I could actually put like a 34-inch door there. And I was actually debating that, but then I got to thinking, well, if I did that, I'm going to take away from her closet, because I have to put, if you look at this area here is going to be a closet. So where this wall is, they're going to put studs right over here, coming back towards me, towards the wall behind me. And we're going to push this wall out and give her like a 24-inch, 26-inch closet. So if I were to go to a larger door, I'd be losing that space. So we are just going to stick with the doors that we have, and what I will do then, pretty much the same thing they have here, but a little better, is I'll plumb up the door on the hinge side first, which I will show you a little bit. And then once I get to this side, I'll probably put some larger blocks in where I'm going to screw in for my shims to really level that out. So we'll continue at it. Until next time. All right. Well, I got the frame off on both sides. You can see right through the casing on the other side because we removed that. And what I have to do now is I'm going to take this Sawzall. I'm going to just cut right down through all of the nails that are protruding through the casing and hitting the studs to keep the door frame in place. So I've already gone through and done it a little bit here, but I want to show you just a simple way to do it. So I got a Sawzall here. I've got a metal blade on it, and I'm going to do this one-handed, so it's going to look a little awkward, but it'll give you an idea of how easy it is just to remove the casing instead of trying to get those nails out and pound them out. So just take it like this, and we're just going to go right through. So we got one sitting there. Push that out. So that side's done. I'm going to do the same thing on this side here. So check this out. And that's it. And I don't think there's any on the top. Nope. So this frame should just simply move out, and then we're going to move it onto this side here after I get the drywall up. So until next time. All right, so we've got the entire frame out. It came out actually very clean, which is a good thing. And you can see here it's sitting just outside the frame that I've created, or the rough opening that I created to put that frame in. So there's one thing that I did just notice though. If you look here on this side, I've got a very large gap here, more than I would be comfortable with. And then the same over here, got another large gap. However, on top, if you look on this, I'm actually short. And that's not good. So this is one of those situations where you look in hindsight, what would I have done different? Well, what I would have done is taken that door out first before I even frame that, then put the frame around and measured how much of an opening that I need, and then would have built the opening around that. But all is not lost. That's why when you are framing a house and you run into a situation like this, you can find a solution. And the solution here is actually going to be very simple. I've got all of these scrap pieces of wood here. These are going to act as my shims, or large shims rather. And all I'm going to do here, they're 1.5 inches wide. I've got at least 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches here, just about 1 3/8 inches maybe. I'm going to put these as blocking all the way down to one side. I'm not going to waste a full stud with them being so expensive. These are all scrap pieces, so I'm going to put all those on one side. And then over here, I'm going to do the same thing, except when I put those over on this hinge side, obviously it's going to be much smaller over here. So what I'm going to do with 3 pieces there is I've got a planer downstairs, and I'm just going to plane those down to the size that I need for this side of the wall, put my 3 posts in, and then that'll make that side. For the top up here, I only need to shave off a little bit, and it doesn't matter if it looks rough or terrible, just enough to get a space in so I can put more shims in to help level it off. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a cut in here with a jigsaw, and I'm just going to jigsaw it horizontally all the way across, and then do the same on the other side. It's going to look rough, but it doesn't matter because you're never going to see it. And then I'll be able to level the door in. The base plate is fantastic. It's in really good shape. It's sturdy. So we'll put that into place, and or this the sill rather for the door, and we'll put that into place, and we'll level this door up tonight. So it's going to look pretty good, I think. But got a little bit of extra work to do, but no big deal. So we'll show you that in a little bit. So I was able to get the door frame in. As you can see here, it fits pretty nice within the opening. What I actually had to do here is I had to take a circular saw and go sideways with it. And it's not pretty, but it doesn't need to be because you're never going to see it. I just need enough space on top to get some shims in so I can drill up into the top piece here. And there's my circular saw there, so has the power on. So now we're just going to plumb it up and put some screws in after I get the drywall up and the insulation in. So we'll do that next. Just a word of note before I forget, when you're screwing in screws to the other side where the shims are going to be, what you want to do is you want to screw on the side that is you're not going to see. So it makes it a nice smooth finish here, and you won't have any like divots of where you need to fill in and paint over. So since we're never going to see this side of it, this is going to be more of the finished side, which is still in a closet, so it really doesn't matter. But you just want to do that unless you can take the centerpiece off, this jam piece, which there is none here because this is just a sealer for weather stripping. So we're going to do that, and then we should be good to go. So let's get some drywall and some insulation in, and then we'll put this frame in. Till next time. All right, we are in a good spot. Check it out. We've got the wall built, and we've got all our insulation in for that particular wall where the door is going to go. So finally got that done, and we even got sheetrock on the other side. So let's take a look at that from back here. There's my drywall. It's all put up. I'm going to come back later on. I'm not going to paint it or anything, obviously, because you're never going to see this, but I am going to go over all the joint seams with tape and joint compound. I want to make sure that there's no chance of any air getting in through any of the cracks out here, so that'll make it a little more efficient as far as heat transfer. You'll notice up top too, I put that little 2x6 there. It's because that's to hold insulation in. It's only like a 5-inch strip of insulation up there, but it's on the other side of these studs, so there's no insulation right above that stud beforehand, the very top plate there. So I added that piece in so I could drop insulation on behind it. Plus, it's actually pretty sturdy, so when I get up on a ladder and I have to go up there, I can kind of grab onto the top of that. So I'm just adding a little bit more insulation to prevent any heat loss. And there's one thing that I just noticed as I'm walking in between what's in there and what's in this room. The heat is now running on both of these supply ducts. It's still not efficient here because I don't have the whole room sealed off, so kind of losing heat over the couple of days that I've had it running. But the big thing that I did notice is there is a noticeable difference between the temperature in this area, which is not insulated now, all through here. If you remember, this is all uninsulated. It's exposed right to the outside for the most part. And it's probably, I'm gonna guess, 7 to 10 degrees difference. And then when I walk through this, which is now insulated, this room is noticeably and physically warmer than it used to be. So when I get this door on here, which will essentially seal off the whole room, we should really see the space heat up. So that's been the goal here for the last several weeks. And tomorrow we are going to take care of that. So we'll wrap it up here for tonight. I think I'll call this the end of this particular update. We'll edit this video and post it up. So until next time, peace out.